Let me turn. Still trying to set this damn thing up. Fuck. There. Alright, it's not really cooperating with me. Damn, I had it steady just a minute ago. There we go. Now we're cooking. Whew. I feel like a joke, man. I feel like a joke. Yo, what's up, Leafs defense? Good to have at least someone in here, man. I just wanted to do a live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. But yeah, it's good. It's good to get on here when I can and go live and talk about stuff. Just have a good conversation. The Eagles offseason, man. I want to talk about all this stuff. Yo, what's up? What's up, Mosh? Good to see you, man. Been a while since we interacted with each other. Probably since the season. But anyway, I'm on here, man. I'm on here, and I was hoping to just talk about the Eagles and the offseason and maybe a few moves that I'd like to see. What's going on, Grizz? What's up, bro? A few things that's been going on today. There's been I think this is where teams are finally getting to where they're gonna cutting people, and there's been a few players that got cut. Josh Norman got cut from the Redskins. Ron Rivera is pretty much cleaning house over there. Cut Paul Richardson, who was had a decent season with the Seattle Seahawks before he got a big contract, and his numbers and his production really took a hit after he went to Washington. But a lot of people are thinking about the Eagles possibly signing Paul Richardson. Personally, I'm good with that. I mean, when I say I'm good with that, that basically means like I'm good. Like I don't really want to go after Paul Richardson. What's up, Philly Special? Good to see you here tonight, bro. But anyway, man, yeah, Paul Richardson, decent player, but I don't know. I mean, I just have a certain preference with what I want to see with the way this offense is built. I don't necessarily like the idea of signing a bunch of has-beens or never wases, for lack of a better word. And one of those guys that I think is a has-been is I pretty much think Paul Richardson has been. I mean, he's had one good season. His best season was with Seattle in 2017 when he had what did he have? About 700 yards and 6 touchdowns or something like that. That's with Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. So, when you go to Washington and you play with a different quarterback every single week because you're a dysfunctional organization, then of course your number's going to dip. But I really don't think Paul Richardson is going to make that much of a difference. And what I'm really looking for is I want guys that are going to come in and try to make a difference on this team. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that. When it comes to Amari Cooper, I am not interested at all. And I know I'm not really saying Amari Cooper is not a good receiver, because this is where people get the word overrated mixed up. When you tell someone a player that's on their team is overrated, they take it as you're saying the player sucks. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying Amari Cooper sucks. I think Amari Cooper is a good player. He is probably he's probably borderline a top 10 receiver in the league, but he's just too inconsistent for my liking. Yes, he has 1,000-yard seasons and stuff like that, and he scores touchdowns. Very, very good route runner. He's probably one of the best route runners in the NFL. His footwork is amazing. But the problem I have with him is his injuries. That's the number one problem I have with him. Second problem I have with him is his drops. Since he was drafted in 2015, from the day he was drafted to right now, in that 4-year span, he leads the league in drop passes. All right? So I have a problem with that too. That's where the whole Amari Cooper is too inconsistent for my liking. And the third problem is his I don't know what you would call it. His attitude or his MO or whatever. He's a very soft-spoken, quiet guy. And I just question whether or not he has that dog and that fight and that hunger deep inside his heart, and I just don't think he has. I don't think he has that hunger. Like when you look at certain receivers in the league, they have that hunger and that swagger along with just raw talent. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a guy that has that hunger. Julio Jones has it. Michael Thomas has it. The best guys have it. And Amari, to me, doesn't have it. So when I look at those three things, that just is a huge turnoff for me. And I don't want to give Amari $100 million, in my opinion. Well, yeah, of course he would be a huge upgrade, but there's better ways that we can upgrade our receiver position and more efficient ways. We have other needs on our team. We have our secondary is terrible. We need corners very, very badly. So we have $44 million in cap space to work with. So that's enough to make a couple good moves. But there's some more moves that we could make that would allow us to have more cap space. Like I did a video on this earlier, if you guys haven't seen it yet, but on Nigel Bradham. Nigel Bradham's pretty much been a good player for us since he came over in 2016. But his production has really kind of dipped a little bit over the last couple of years. And he's getting older and he's injury prone. He's not injury prone, but he's been battling injuries at this stage in his career. An ankle here and a shoulder there, and he's been getting nicked up. A lot of guys on our team have been getting nicked up, but Bradham is a guy that I think we could cut ties with and save $4.5 million, and we can make some other moves right there. So, a couple guys I would like to see us go after with this cap space that we got. Corey Littleton, the linebacker from the LA Rams. He had a very productive season over there and had over 130 plus tackles, had 3.5 sacks, had 2 or 3 interceptions and about 2 forced fumbles. So the guy, he had some really productive stats there last year, and was able to fly around and make a lot of plays, which is something that I think we're lacking on our defense. And I like T.J. Edwards. I think he can be a nice piece there. But we need to add another good linebacker to this equation, whether it's in the draft or free agency. Corey Littleton, probably the number one guy I want to see us go after. Corner wise, there's a lot of guys that we could go after that I think would be significant upgrades. I like A.J. Boye. I like Logan Ryan from the Titans. Also spent a few years with the Patriots, had some productive seasons over there. Logan Ryan, A.J. Boye, Chris Harris. I would rather not because of his age. You know, I'm pretty much fed up with the whole signing players that are over 30 years old. It just doesn't work. It just hasn't worked out for us. Having the second oldest overall team in the league, and we're guys when they get to a certain point in their career, their bodies start breaking down. And that pretty much seems to be the case here. So all these guys that are over 30, I would prefer not to. I wouldn't mind signing Byron Jones. I wouldn't be. I'm not pounding the table for Byron Jones, but he'd be a huge upgrade for sure. And we could also look at this position in the draft. There's some good corners in this draft. There's not a lot of great ones. Akuda at Ohio State is probably the only great one, and this guy's going to be probably top 3 to top 5 pick in the draft. So the chances of us getting him, I think, are very low. So I'm just thinking that it'd be wiser if we addressed our defensive needs, grab a linebacker, grab a corner, grab a safety, whatever you want to do there. Address the defense heavily in free agency, and address the offense heavily in the draft / trades. So what I mean by that is, I would rather see us trade for a veteran wide receiver / a number 1 wide receiver than overpay Robbie Anderson, overpay Amari Cooper. Sign has-beens like Paul Richardson, like Demarcus Robinson, guys that I don't think are going to really make an impact, So I would rather see us make some kind of a trade. There. I don't know. I'm not saying we got to trade for Julio Jones. Although that would be nice, but Julio Jones is 31 years old, so we would just be getting Julio right here at the end of his prime. But Kenny Golladay from the Lions, man. The Lions I think they're getting ready to blow this whole operation up. There's been trade rumors circulating around Matthew Stafford. Are they going to make a change at quarterback? Or are they going to kick the tires on Tua Tagovailoa? That's a possibility. Or are they going to try to stock up picks so they can go after Trevor Lawrence at Clemson next year, which is something they could do. Big play Slay, I think he's going to be on the block too. So we'll see what the Lions do there, man. But I think Kenny Golladay is a dude we could go ahead and go after. Okay, caught up on a little comments. Yep. Grizz says he likes Littleton. Joseph. What's up, bro? X Factor, what's up, man? Yeah, but if you guys want to add anything to the conversation, feel free to, man. I'm gonna I'll read your guys' comments while I'm going on and on over here. But yeah, draft. I want us to attack the draft offensively. I want to see us take one of these top three receivers. And yes, I know being at the 21st overall pick isn't ideal if you want to get one of these guys, but at the same time, I think we have ammunition. We can move up and go after, and we can go after the guy we want. It's just a matter of, do we really want to? Do we really want to at the end of the day? You know, because you got guys like Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb and Henry Ruggs, and those are pretty much your top three guys, and all three guys would come in and instantly be a number one receiver on this team and will be a number one receiver in the league for years to come. As far as the talent in this draft at receiver, I think this is the best receiver draft since 2014 when you had Odell Beckham Jr., Mike Evans in that draft, Jarvis Landry was in that draft. A lot of good dudes were in that draft. So talent-wise, when you look at CeeDee Lamb and Henry Ruggs and Laviska, Chenault, Jalen Rieger, Jerry Jeudy, the class is straight up stacked. So you gotta get one of these dudes. You can't miss this opportunity. I can't stress it enough. So the dude that I think we should get is CeeDee Lamb. I think he's the best receiver in the draft. I think he's going to be the best pro. It's like I was saying earlier, I question with Amari Cooper, does he have that hunger? Does he have that intensity, that dog mentality? I don't think he does. But with CeeDee Lamb, there's no doubt in my mind. You can see it when it just flies off the screen when he's on tape. This guy wants to take you out every single play. He lines up across from the defensive back with one purpose. He wants to take you out. He plays with the hunger and the intensity like DeAndre Hopkins does. And that's pretty much the player. He reminds me of a little bit of DeAndre Hopkins and a little bit of Devontae Adams. Strong hands, good route runner, explosive, gets it done every way that he possibly can. He's not the fastest guy in the world. You know, when he's not gonna have Tyreek Hill speed or Deshaun Jackson speed, but he's still very fast and he can still effectively stretch the defense and do everything you need a receiver to do. So, the question is, are we gonna go all in on getting Carson Wentz that receiver that he truly needs? So, CeeDee Lamb is the dude I would go for, but Henry Ruggs will probably be a higher chance that he's there at 21. But still, I still don't think he'd be there at 21. I think you'd still have to move up a few picks. Maybe may have to get up into the top 15 of the draft to get him. But he's very fast and he complements what Carson Wentz does as a quarterback. He's a playmaker. Carson Wentz, he holds on to the ball a lot. He tries to extend plays. Patrick Mahomes, same thing. They surrounded him with speed receivers, you know. When you look at the Chiefs, their offense, do they really have like a possession wide receiver like an Alshon Jeffrey type? No, they don't. They have Mecole Hardman and they have Tyreek Hill and they have Robinson and most of these guys are deep threat type of receivers. Because Mahomes has a strong, powerful arm. He's a good athlete. He extends plays. Pretty much what Carson Wentz does. So Henry Ruggs is a dude that would really, really complement what Wentz likes to do. So yeah, I think coming away with any of these top guys in the first round is gonna bode well for the Philadelphia Eagles. But other than that, man, we got some moves to make. We got to fix this receiving core. We got to see what we can do to fix this secondary and see what we can do to make a run in 2020 this season. Because after watching the 2019 season, it was just really exhausting and You know, we put all our eggs in one basket with Deshaun Jackson. It's just exhausting, man. We gotta find a way to fix his receiving core, so Wentz can go out there and do his thing. Because if he can go out there and do his thing, gives us the best chance to win games. So that's pretty much what I got to say about that. Cousin wants rugs. Lamb is a monster. Yep. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Who do you guys want from the draft? And who do you guys want from free agency? Go ahead and let me know. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shift gears for a minute, and I'm gonna go ahead and a lot of people been hitting me up about this, and I'm gonna try not to say too much about it because I just think it's a waste of time. But certain somebody made a video and pretty much was calling out Spunky 1991 and myself again. You know, the guy has he's done it a few times. And Spunky's responded to him pretty much every time, and I've responded a couple times. But there will be no response this time. My response is going to be basically no response other than this here. You know, I'm just tired of like all the stupid shit that comes with being a YouTuber, all the back and forth stuff. I think there are more important things that I should be focusing on. So I really just don't want to give people that are trying to get a rise out of you and trying to get you to make a video because they know you have a bigger subscriber count than they do, bigger following they do, so they can bring more attention to themselves. So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and I'm not gonna give certain people the satisfaction they're looking for. So that's all I gotta say about that. Shift gears again. A little bit of Sixers talk. So where we're at in the season right now, Joel Embiid. The guy has had a disappointing year. I've been very disappointed. This was not the Joel Embiid that I expected to see. After Joel was last seen in Toronto after the playoffs, after the Game 7, after Kawhi Leonard hits that shot, it was seen crying in the tunnel. And you know what? I thought that was going to propel Joel to greatness. I really did. I thought that finally was going to be the thing where Joel was like, all right, I got to wake up. So when the playoffs come next year, I'll be ready to do this thing. You know? Well, yo, what's up, rivals? Yeah, what's up, everyone that's coming in? I've been going back and forth on the Eagles, and I just started a little bit of Sixers talk, but, you know, Joel Embiid has had a very disappointing year. I think most people who watch the NBA could say this is not the Joel Embiid they pretty much expected to see. But, you know, in the offseason, there was all this talk about Joel and how, you know, he's doing this and he's working and he's doing everything, and he said he was working on his clutch shot situations. He said he was losing weight. He dropped 25, 30 pounds, stuff like that. And he comes into the league, and he comes into the season this year, and he's out of shape again, and he's getting injured again, and it's like you can't expect to win at this level if you have a mentality like Joel Embiid has. And when I say that, Joel Embiid's mentality is he thinks he can turn it on whenever he wants to, and everything's going to be fine. Well, it doesn't work that way. as you can see, we are the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Okay? There is no reason we shouldn't be a top 2 seed. We should be a top 2 to 3 seed. We should be no lower than the 3rd seed. But for some reason, we're not. And there's one variable. Joel Embiid is lazy. A lot of people who don't really watch the NBA that much pretty much just assume that Ben Simmons is the problem, because Ben Simmons doesn't shoot the ball in a league that is predicated on shooting the ball more than ever before. The three-point shot, the Steph Curry era, I guess you would call it the Warriors era. They really made shooting the three bigger than it ever has been. So people that don't really realize how much Ben Simmons is doing on the floor automatically assume that he's the problem. They're like, listen, you guys are crazy for blaming Joel Embiid. You know, if Ben Simmons shot the ball, then Joel Embiid would be able to do his thing. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's not that simple. Even if Ben Simmons was a knockdown jump shooter, first of all, if he was, we wouldn't even be having this discussion, because no one would be able to stop him in the world. Not even the best defensive players. I mean, people can hardly slow him down now. Even Kawhi Leonard couldn't slow him down the other night when they played. But what I'm saying here is Ben Simmons has taken a step forward, and Joel Embiid has taken a step back. So in order for us to win, man, we can't have stuff like that. We need our 2 stars to continue to take a step forward each year if we want to get to our ultimate goal, which is to win the NBA Finals. So with Joel Embiid just picking and choosing, when he wants to be a great player, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And in the end, that's probably going to be what costs us, is that Joel Embiid doesn't have that mentality in his heart. So what I am glad about this season, though, with one positive thing I can get from this season, is the growth of Ben Simmons, like I just got done going over. I think before, like the last 2 seasons with Ben Simmons, the problem is he shies away from being aggressive offensively. Okay? Like this, I feel like he shies away from it. I feel like the coaching, Brett Brown, the entire organization, I feel like they always wanted it to be Joel Embiid's team. That's what they always wanted. They wanted Joel always to be the reason why they won, the reason why they're great, yada, yada, yada. And I think the organization felt that way, and Ben it kind of took confidence from Ben. And like Ben is just, I think he deferred more because of that. So now Ben has been asked to step up because Joel has not been stepping up. So I think Ben has finally realized, all right, if I don't play at a high level on every single night, we're probably going to lose. So I am glad about that, at least, that Ben Simmons has finally realized that he has to be aggressive, or we got no shot. We got straight up no chance. So guy's been playing really good basketball. I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps it up. His defense has been unreal. His offense has been great too. I think this is the best year that he's had as an offensive player. It's not just scoring wise. Scoring wise, his numbers are the same. But I would dare say I think he is a better scorer than he's ever been. Because earlier in the season, he really wasn't scoring that much, and I think that kind of affected his numbers a little bit. But pretty much since Christmas, this guy has been like a 20 points per game scorer. He won Player of the Month in January. Joel Embiid missed a lot of those games, and he was able to just go out and do his damn thing out there, which I thought was really impressive during that run. And even since Joel Embiid's been back, Ben Simmons has still been playing at the same level he was before. So it's very encouraging to see the growth from Ben Simmons. It's not encouraging to see how badly Joel Embiid has regressed. So hopefully something happens by the playoffs. I don't know if it will. If I had to say, I'm not feeling too confident right now. So I'm gonna have to see how the rest of the season plays out. But Joel is really frustrating me right now. But anyway, that's enough of the Sixers talk. We'll get back to the Birds. I don't know what you guys are saying right now. Let me get caught back up. Yeah, right, Joseph. Ben Simmons would. I mean, we wouldn't even. That's why I said we wouldn't even be having this conversation if Ben Simmons had a consistent jump shot, not even a 3-pointer, like just a mid-range where he can pull up from 15 to 20 feet and hit shots from outside the paint. Because inside the paint and downhill, he's already unstoppable. So if you add that, then this dude is going to be like, he's going to be a better version of LeBron James. And I know that's crazy. Some people say, "Oh, well, Ben will never be as good as LeBron," but the guy, honestly, in every other aspect of the game, he's better than LeBron. Other than he just can't shoot the fucking ball. Or maybe it's not even that he can't shoot the ball, it's that he doesn't feel comfortable shooting the ball. And I don't think he's going to wake up one day and then, he can shoot the ball. No. I think it's something that it's something that he's more comfortable with than he was when he first came into the league, but he's still not that comfortable with it. So it's gonna still be a few years until he can do it. But as long as he progresses and gets better, that's all that matters. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And another thing you got to take into account: the team is more built around Joel Embiid's skill than it has been Simmons' skill. What I mean by that is there are not a lot of dudes on this team that can shoot the ball. I mean, we went out and got Alec Burks, who's having a pretty good year shooting from three. I think he's shooting like 38% from three. Bringing in Glenn Robinson, another decent player. Korkmaz, he's been hot and cold, but he had back-to-back 30-point games where he had 0 points against the Clippers. But even that doesn't matter, because if you have another shooter on the floor, it creates more space. But if Ben was surrounded by people that could straight up snipe it, like really shoot the three, which is kind of like how the Bucks are built with Giannis, I think Ben would really thrive then. But that's besides the point. If you add a jump shot and you build a team around him, I think the dude's going to be an MVP. I really do. But yeah, we can get back to the Eagles now, man. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but there's a couple players that I definitely think we should move on from. So I see Grizz is out here using his wrench. So congrats to Grizz for holding it down once again. Or congrats, shout out to Grizz for holding it down again during this live stream. But yeah, there's a few players I definitely think we should move on from, and some are free agents, some are not free agents. Nelson Aguilar, free agent, he can go. Jason Peters, free agent, old as shit, walking penalty, he can go. I already said Nelson Aguilar. Alshon Jeffrey, still under contract, and his contract is fully guaranteed. So it's really not the most ideal situation to be in. But I think the Eagles could find a trade partner. There's probably a team out there that looks at Alshon and says, "Oh well, this guy is a veteran receiver. He's nothing crazy, but even if we don't get a good draft pick for him or good compensation, I don't think that really matters. I think it's more important to just get him off of the team. Not only because everyone knows about the locker room drama and the Josina Anderson bullshit and anonymous Alshon, talking to people about how, Wentz doesn't, he's not a good leader and he doesn't, Foles throws a better ball and stuff like that. Yeah, everyone knows about that, but his play has also really, really regressed since 2017. Still had a decent year in 2018, actually. Had a lot more yards and touchdowns. 2019, I don't know who that guy was, man, but he was a straight up fraud and didn't play hard. And yeah, he was playing through injuries and he was playing dinged up here and there, but I just didn't see that same fire and desire and that level of effort that we've been used to seeing and the same swagger from Alshon Jeffries. So at the end of the day, man, this guy is already a locker room problem and his plays regress. So it's not like it's one thing to have a player that's like Odell Beckham Jr. that's pretty much a diva and wants the ball all the time and stuff like that. People will bring that up as that could be not good for the locker room. It's one thing to have a player that's like Odell Beckham Jr. that's like a freakish talent and they call shit in the locker room. But if you're a bum, for lack of a better word, some people wouldn't call Alshon a bum, but you know what? The way that I saw him play, I consider that a bum. I don't know about you guys, but I consider it a bum. I consider it a bum. So if you're a bum and you're also a locker room cancer, your ass gotta go. I mean, you cannot. Your ass has to leave. If you are a scrub like Nelson Aguilar, like Alshon Jeffrey, and you cause shit in the locker room, like you gotta go. So at the end of the day, Alshon, Nelson, Jason Peters. I mentioned Bradham earlier. I think we need to get younger, faster, stronger at the linebacker position. So if we can get a nice little contract for Corey Littleton, I'm all for it. I like what I saw from TJ Edwards. I think he needs to work on his covering. He's not. He struggled a little bit covering running backs on screens and covering tight ends and stuff like that. But overall, still a very good tackler. He's got good speed. So I like TJ Edwards. Camus Grugier, hell's a free agent. I wouldn't mind us bringing him back, but the thing is, I don't know how much dough he's looking for. Littleton, I would give him the dough. I would give him the dough. I'm not saying give this guy like Khalil Mack money or anything, but he won't. He that's not the kind of market he will be commanding. I don't know what he'll probably want something between 11 and 13 million dollars, which isn't bad. Which it really isn't bad when you think about how much we need a linebacker and how productive Littleton has been with the Rams. So I would totally do it. I would totally bring in Littleton. He's probably the number one free agent I want to see us go ahead and go after. But we definitely got to clean house a little bit. Not clean house as in blow the team up, but we got to get rid of the trash. We got to get rid of the bums. We got to get rid of the guys that have a problem with Wentz. We got to get guys that wants to play with Wentz. We got to surround them with the right guys. We got to get Jim Short some help on the defense. Get Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham some help out there because they can't do it all by themselves, man. Yeah, they got to get to the quarterback. But at the same time, the guys on the back end, they got to do their damn job, and they just haven't been doing their job. Ronald Darby hasn't been doing his job. Rasul Douglas hasn't been doing his job. Sidney Jones ain't been doing his job. All right. Avonte Maddox has even struggled a little bit. And I'm a big fan of Avonte. So at the end of the day, we got to get some corners back there. We got to draft a corner, sign a corner in free agency, or better yet, sign 2 corners in free agency. And you got Crayvon LeBlanc to cover the slot. And you got Maddox in there, and you got Sidney Jones, who, even though I was just bashing him a second ago, Sidney Jones actually made some huge plays for us down the stretch at the end of the season. So maybe he's going to get a little bit of his confidence back. So you got Sidney and you got Maddox, so you got depth there. You just got to get guys who can be starting caliber corners. All right, and unfortunately, Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby are not that anymore. So we need to figure some stuff out with this defense, and we got to figure it out with the offense. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Little Tennant, yeah, he's not being talked about that much, Joseph. But I think that's because people really don't realize how productive he was, man. I actually didn't know. I knew I always knew he was a decent player for the Rams, but when I looked up his numbers today, I was like, wow, he had a really productive season, man. 134 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Which most of the time, linebackers aren't going to get like big time double-digit sacks unless you're like a 4-3 outside linebacker, like which is what Khalil Mack is. Even though they can move Khalil Mack around a defensive end, stuff like that. Who else is like that? Von Miller is like that. But if you're just like, for example, like Luke Kuechly, he wasn't like a double-digit sack guy. He was just a guy that did everything. You know, he got sacks, he got interceptions, sideline to sideline speed, a lot of tackles, stuff like that. So Littleton, I really think that guy's the number one dude we got to get. 3.5 sacks, I think 2 or 3 interceptions, couple forced fumbles. Guy had a really, really productive season, man. I borderline want to say, I say he should have been a borderline Pro Bowler, you know, with those numbers. He had a Pro Bowl caliber season last year, so, you know, we could use something like that around here. So I think honestly think linebacker and corner is our biggest need on defense right now. I definitely think we also need a safety, but I also don't think it's as big a need as linebacker, because when you talk about the linebacker position, the reason why we always get smoked by mobile quarterbacks is because our linebackers just are too fucking slow. They're too slow to run with these guys and keep them and contain them. Like when you run a defense, there's this thing that's called the QB spy, which is basically you can use a linebacker and you try to keep the quarterback from running out of the pocket. And for us, shit doesn't work. Doesn't work when we do it because we don't have a guy that has enough speed. We haven't had a dude that has had enough speed in a long time. I don't even remember the last time we had a linebacker that was decent. I mean, we had Jordan Hicks, but Jordan Hicks was a good linebacker, but the guy never stayed healthy. The guy was injured every year. I mean, he tore his Achilles one year, he tore his ACL one year. The guy just missed so many freaking games that it was insane. And he went to the Cardinals and actually had a really good season and stayed healthy, which, go figure. But the Eagles have not had like a legit linebacker in I don't know how long. I don't even know how long. D'Amico Ryans was good, but if I'm being honest, I don't think we've had like a great linebacker since we had Jeremiah Trotter. If I'm being totally honest, that's just my opinion. But Our linebackers have just been a disgrace for years. Our corners have been a disgrace for years too. We haven't had a good corner since Asante Samuel. So those are the two positions that have pretty much been a huge problem for ever since I can remember. Whoops. Yeah, D'Amico Ryan's honestly wasn't that good, Grizz. He was supposed to be because when he was with the Texans, he really was. When he came to us, he was all right, but at the end of the day, man, linebackers were linebackers have just been slow and getting owned by mobile quarterbacks, which is something we got to deal with, man. Because next year we got some guys on our schedule that are mobile quarterbacks. I think we play Seattle, so we play Russell Wilson again. We're going to be playing Lamar Jackson. I don't know what other mobile quarterbacks we got, but off the top of my head, we got to play the Ravens. We got to play the Seahawks next year. We got Green Bay again. We got to play Aaron Rodgers. This guy's an animal when he gets outside of the pocket. Thank God we don't have to play Patrick Mahomes next year. I think the year after this year, this coming year, I think we play the Chiefs again. Not sure about that, but at least we don't got to play Mahomes. I don't really know, but bottom line is, we get torched by mobile quarterbacks, and the main reason is don't have a linebacker that's worth the shit. Haven't had one in years. Haven't had corners in years. So, at the end of the day, guys, we got to do something to fix this shit. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you about that, Joseph. With how he was smart at the deadline. People were asking for way too much at the deadline. The Jalen Ramsey thing, man, I was very disappointed that we didn't get Jalen Ramsey. But at the end of the day, it's probably for the best that we didn't because there's huge needs we got at the receiver position. There's huge needs that we got at in the secondary and stuff like that, linebacker. So maybe parting ways with multiple first round picks probably isn't the best idea. But in a perfect world, now hear me out on this. Hear me out on this because I'm not sure if you guys have heard this ideology from anywhere else. But the Rams, their cap situation is about to be pretty fucked. All right? And it already kind of is. So, you got guys that are already under contract. You got Brandon Cooks. You got Todd Gurley, who they're currently trying to get rid of. And Todd Gurley's knee issues, there's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to take that contract. There's actually probably no team that would straight up take the contract. The Rams will probably have to pay 90% of it, 90% of the salary. Or they cut him and it fucks up their cap space because they got to take a dead money hit. So you got Gurley and Cooks. Goff, 100 mil. Aaron Donald, who is the only player out of those that I think is worth it. So now you have two guys in a contract year. You have your number one go-to receiver, which is, what's up, Reaper Talon? Thanks for joining. So you have Cooper Kupp, who is their most reliable receiver, their best receiver by far, in a contract year. And you got Ramsey, who you pretty much mortgaged your entire future for. Okay? So what's it gonna be? Because you ain't gonna be able to make Jared Goff take a pay cut. Take a pay cut after you just signed him to that deal. Aaron Donald is arguably the best player in the league. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong if you said Aaron Donald was the best player in the NFL. You honestly wouldn't. I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes, but if someone said Aaron Donald was the best player in the NFL right now, I actually wouldn't disagree with him. He ain't taking a damn pay cut. You're not going to find someone that is going to take Todd Gurley's contract or Brandon Cooks' contract, because both of them have bad injury problems. Like, bad. Like Brandon Cooks, this guy has had a concussion. I don't know how many concussions this guy's had, but he's had like a shitload of them. So at the end of the day, man, people are not gonna take the contract from PR52 chimes in. He just wants everyone to know that Chip Kelly was not a bad coach. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. But the Rams, man, whoever their GM is, man, they did not handle these contracts the right way. So what I think is either going to happen is either Ramsey is going to walk after they gave up all of those picks for him, and he's going to get money elsewhere, or Cooper Kupp is going to get money elsewhere. They are not keeping both of those players with their current situation. And Donald's not taking a pay cut. Goff's not taking a pay cut. And no one's going to take the contracts from Cooks and Gurley. So the Rams pretty much screwed themselves there. So in a perfect world, the Eagles nail the draft. They get their needs. They get them a receiver in a corner. And Ramsey is waiting for him come next offseason. That would be the perfect world, but probably not going to get my hopes up too much for that. Probably not. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice if we could. But yeah, man. Screw Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly really gutted this team. I was talking to Grizz earlier about this. Jeffrey Lurie said when he gave Chip full control of the personnel, that was one of the worst decisions he's made in his entire career. So that just tells you right now, man. And Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy, they feel a certain type of way about it. They feel like eventually that group was going to be able to win a Super Bowl like we did in 2017 with the right coach, the right leadership. It all could have happened. But we'll never know, because Chip Kelly basically gutted the entire team, which is really sad. But you know what? We ended up all right. We ended up getting Doug Peterson in here and drafted Carson Wentz and started a whole new era of Eagles football. Joseph just said, thank God he didn't trade for Marcus Mariota. It's funny you say that, because I don't remember what the details were. But the Eagles they had an offer for Marcus Mariota. I think the offer was, what was it? I think it was like Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford which isn't a big that's not a big deal anyway. But I think it was like Sam Bradford, Fletcher Cox, 3 first-round picks, or like, yeah, I want to say it was 3 firsts, Cox, Bradford. Titans turned it down. I don't even know what to say about that, man. Because the Titans, they would really be set up right now if they had taken that trade. So Mariota, he got benched this year. He got benched for Ryan Tannehill. So imagine if they would have got Fletcher Cox and all those picks and everything. It would have been really set up, but thank God they didn't, and we didn't completely fuck ourselves over. That's all I got to say about that. Chris says if Chip did that trade, he would have been killed, I guarantee. You know what? I don't even doubt it, man. Chip Kelly the guy was such a condescending jackass. Like the guy was just a malicious human being. He was arrogant. Hell, he was kind of racist. I thought the racial accusations from Shady McCoy, I thought there was a little bit out there at the time, but I actually think the dude was fucking racist. I actually do. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, Grizz just brought up how he kept Riley Cooper. What about everyone else? What about Shady McCoy? Like, why did he have such a beef with Deshaun Jackson and Shady McCoy? I don't get it. Because Deshaun Jackson did not have beef anywhere else. No one said bad things about him with the Redskins. Nobody said anything about him when he was in Tampa, other than he was tired of playing with Jameis Winston, especially when Jameis Winston freaked him out when he with his E to W speech, and Deshaun is just sitting there like this. He's like, you never heard anything bad about Shady when he was with the Bills. Okay? I mean, are these guys more flashy spotlight diva type of players? Yeah, but they're good players, man. What do you expect? What do you expect, man? At the end of the day, not everybody that's that good is like super humble. I mean, they're not flat out they weren't like complete douches like Baker Mayfield is, who actually isn't good to start with. I mean, he's a douche. You never hear bad things about these guys with their other teams, but for some reason, oh well, Deshaun, he's affiliated with gangs and stuff like that, and that's the reason why they cut it. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, no. And it doesn't even stop there. Nick Foles. Let's not forget about Nick Foles. Nick Foles had a Pro Bowl season in 2013. 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Followed it up. Wasn't really playing at a high level at all. He was actually having like a really mediocre season statistically. But we were still winning games. He was still making that one play that Cliff says R.I.P. Man City. Absolutely. Manchester City, you get what you deserve. You honestly get what you deserve. This is what happens when you try to buy championships. It's called cheating. Got shut down. But back to what I was saying. Nick Foles, man, he was actually finding a way to win games for us. Like in the end, like he would have a trash game, but he would always have like that one drive, and we would find a way to win. And he broke his collarbone against the Texans. That was pretty much all she wrote. And Mark Sanchez he pretty much lit up the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And after that, it was over. It was over. And then, next thing you know, Nick Foles gets traded, and this dude actually goes on to win a Super Bowl MVP, which is crazy. But Chip, he traded Pro Bowl quarterback, All-Pro running back, All-Pro receiver, and got shit for him. We got Kiko Alonso for Shady McCoy. If you're going to trade Shady McCoy in his prime, which at the time he was coming off of 2 years where he he rushed for like 1,600 yards one year. He had like 2,000 yards from scrimmage. So he was the rushing champ one of those years. And in the second year, he rushed for 1,300 yards, which is damn good. Really damn good. So you're going to trade Shady McCoy and probably get something good for him. You know, don't just get rid of a player just to get rid of a player. It's like you turn on a PS4, you grab Madden, and you go to like franchise mode or whatever, and you take a player on your team. Like you take like a 99 overall player like Khalil Mack or something, and you go to add to trade block, and teams are like, all right, I'll give you like a 77 overall linebacker and like a 6th round pick. And then he's like, oh, I'll take it. That's pretty much what it was with the Shady McCoy trade. I mean, you could have got so much more for Shady McCoy. As a matter of fact, if you wanted Mariota so bad, then why did you not just ask someone if they would take Shady McCoy 1st round pick and some change and try to move up that way? But what do I know? Bottom line, Chip Kelly gutted this team. He got rid of some of the best players that we've had in many, many years. All-time leading rusher. Deshaun Jackson, I think he leads the league in. Read some stat about him this week where Deshaun has the most deep receiving yards of the last 10 years. So you got rid of one of the best deep threat receivers of all time. Got rid of Shady McCoy. Got rid of a Pro Bowl quarterback that went on to win a Super Bowl MVP a few years later. You got shit for him. And you went 7-9. And you blew the whole fucking team up. You overpaid Byron Maxwell. Byron Maxwell, awful signing. Only looked good because he was in the Seattle system, which had a ferocious front seven. It's actually why Richard Sherman also thrived. Because if you guys saw, Richard Sherman really ain't that fucking good at the corner. He actually got smoked in the Super Bowl, but that's besides the point. We'll talk about that another day. But you know, Byron Maxwell, DeMarco Murray, like that team was awful. That was an awful, awful team. Sam Bradford. I still don't even know how we beat the Patriots that year. We actually beat the Patriots in Foxborough that season. I was actually at that game, and it was crazy. But I'm glad that Jeffrey Lurie finally got fed up with this shit, and He saved the team before it got any worse. We did suck again in 2016, but when you come into a mess like that, get a rookie quarterback, first year head coach, shit's gonna happen like that. Shit's gonna happen like that. But 2017 really turned shit around. 3 straight years in the playoffs, so I really can't complain that much. I think Kobe faked his death. Yeah, no. I don't think so, man. There's a lot of conspiracist theory people out there, but no. I mean, the helicopter went down in flames. It was very tragic. Kobe was from Philadelphia. He was a diehard Eagles fan. He went to Lower Merion High School in Philly. Uh, I mean, that's what everyone says. Well, it just makes it more tragic that that's what happened. That Kobe Kobe was passed by LeBron, and then the next day he passes away. So it just makes it more tragic. But yeah, I know a lot of people are making shit up and conspiracy theories and everything like that with Kobe. But the dude was a legend, and we definitely miss him, man. I can't remember a time that there's ever been a celebrity or anything like that. But I'm honestly gonna keep it straight up. When I heard the news, I was like in utter shock. I was in utter shock. Like it, I felt like I lost. Honestly, felt like I lost a family member, and I was never like. I was never crazy about Kobe because Kobe was like our number one rival, especially because of the finals in 2001. But Allen Iverson and Kobe, they used to they had like a low key rivalry. I don't think it was well noted. Like there's certain rivalries that are noted, like LeBron versus Kobe. I think Iverson versus Kobe got overshadowed after LeBron came into the league because everyone compared LeBron to Michael Jordan and Kobe. So it was, the whole time those two were in the league, it was Kobe and LeBron, Kobe and LeBron, Kobe and LeBron. But Kobe and AI, man, they used to go at each other. They were both fierce competitors. So at the end of the day, man, I respected Kobe, but I was never like, I guess I was never like a diehard like Kobe person or anything like that. But I liked Kobe and I respected him, but it was really frustrating fucking playing against that guy. Um, it really was, man. But yeah, it was. I was just in shock when that shit happened. Like, yeah, it was tragic, and his daughter as well, man. And not just his daughter and Kobe, but like the other people that died in the crash too. Like there was a baseball coach, I believe. They honored him at his high school baseball coach, or travel baseball, whatever it was. Like all those baseball players, man. Imagine how they feel losing their coach like that. It would not be something I would want to go through. Nah, dude, I think people were still talking about him. Oh, Kimber. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, man. But with this kid, man, I just I'm done with it. I'm done with it. He pretty much wants you to respond. He wants me to respond because number one, we have a bigger following than he does, and he wants a reaction, and he wants to see what we're gonna say about him, and he wants other people to He wants other people to watch. He wants the attention. He wants the attention. So at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit what he says. I've roasted him enough times. You roasted him more than enough times. So at the end of the day, he can say whatever he wants. His opinion really isn't valued too much around here, or respected whatsoever. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I will say this before I sign off. I've been on here for over an hour. My phone definitely needs to charge a little bit. I also need to get some food. I'm gonna end it with this. The dude, when I first started doing videos, I can't remember if it was on somebody's live stream or whatever. He's trying to take shots at me. PR with the inside joke. PR with the inside joke. Always good to have PR in the building. So subscribe to PR52. Subscribe to Spunky1991 for the dudes that's in here. But good to have a little inside joke. But I remember it was a live stream or something, and he pretty much subjected me. That's the problem with this kid. He can't count. He can't read. He can't spell. Kid's got issues. Kid's got major issues. So, probably has problems filling out a job application, which is nothing to joke about. But I'm being serious, man. I mean, the guy needs a tutor. The guy needs someone to teach him how to read and write. Abraham Lincoln didn't know how to read and write until he taught himself how to. So maybe Kimberly can do the same thing with that. But he subchecked me. He was like, "Oh, you only have however many subscribers." It was the wrong number, by the way. I had like 100 and something at the time. And what was funny is a couple weeks, like no longer than 2 to 3 weeks maybe, I started flying past him in subscribers. So I got to like 500, 600 subs. And that was pretty much all she wrote. I left them in the dust. But it doesn't surprise me that he made a video about us at the end of the day. Because the kid has still heard about all the times that he got roasted by me and by you, Spunky. So at the end of the day, as Michael Jordan said, fuck them kids. Fuck that kid. Ain't nobody worried about it. Yeah. He should hit the weights, though. He should definitely hit the weights. He definitely should hit the weights. Get a little protein powder. Otherwise, his ass can get knocked the fuck out. It's like Friday. It's like Friday. I always say this about Kimberly. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about Kimberly. It's the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I'm gonna try to not engage in it because I really feel like it's not good for my image. I need to focus on being a good content creator. But it's like Friday with Chris Tucker. Like this kid is gonna say the wrong thing to somebody. And he's going to get knocked out. And then Chris Tucker is going to come out and he's going to be standing over his head. Damn! You got knocked the fuck out! I love me some Friday, man. Very funny, classic movie. But yeah. That's pretty much it, guys, man. I've been on here for like an hour and 15 minutes now. So, for the send me your location. Man, we got a lot of good inside jokes here, so I pretty much enjoyed talking tonight, guys, but I'm going to head out of here. See you guys later. This is your host of the Most Philly Jim. Go Birds. Fly Eagles Fly. See you guys next week. We'll try to do this thing. We'll try to make this a regular thing, so